You already know who it is. Y'all see what's going on? Everybody sees what's going on right now. Everybody hit the like button when you tap in. Mikey T, the movie star, back on live. You see what's popping off right now? 50 Cent and Meek Mill. We're about to revisit this whole issue with 50 Cent and Meek Mill right now, you guys. When you tap in, you know what to do. Hit the like button. Show some support for the channel. Drop a comment. You already know who it is. Mikey T, the movie star. 50 Cent is ready. Yeah, he is. 50 Cent is ready for this issue with Meek Mill right now. I mean, he already been dissing him for the last few years. He's already been dissing him for the last few years, but now it looks like it's really about to go down. Salutes. Much love, Jonathan. Appreciate you tapping in all the way from Chicago. Much love to Chicago. Salute to everybody out there that taps in with my work. Definitely appreciate it. Much love, Queen B. Thank you for tapping in as well. Everybody watching this, we got a hell of a topic today because Meek Mill actually responded to a post that 50 Cent made where 50 was poking fun. 50 was actually poking fun at Diddy. He was poking fun at Diddy by dissing his son, King Combs, who raps here and there. You know what I'm saying? He got the Kodak Black record. That kind of took him to a little bit of another level once they cleared the sample. That took him to a little bit of another level. But we really, just to be real, not trying to be overly critical, but we haven't heard much from King Combs since. All right, y'all, hit the like button. We got a lot to talk about. I'm probably going to bring in a couple co-hosts tonight. But you know, we got a couple blurbs, a couple tweets, and Instagram posts that we're going to go over in regard to this because 50 had to take it back to the record sales. You know, everybody's been dissing Meek Mill because his most recent project sold 6,000 copies, and now he's all over his stream basically selling his vehicles. I think he was selling like an Escalade or something like that. He's like, I got like 4 of these. I don't need any more of these or something like that. He was trying to say, not sure I really see the logic in that. I mean, it looks like you're kind of pulling an Easy E from the NWA movie and downsizing. You know, we saw the album come out. What was it called? He had an album come out. It was really an EP, something he released really quick, and it underperformed drastically. You know, it wasn't like Expensive Pain. It did not go off like his album Expensive Pain, which sold 80,000. He sold 80,000 real quick. And coming back with this album where I can't even really tell you the title. Somebody in the comments, tell me the title. Somebody in the comments, tell me the title. For his newest project. I don't want to misquote it. I don't think it was called Himothy. That was Easy the Block Captain's project. But it had some sort of a title like that. It wasn't Bless the Meek. But I just, you know, it was like a 6-track EP. I'm not really sure how much you could expect that to do first week. First of all, you got 6 records on there. How much streaming are we really doing? How much, you know, Meek didn't even have a single. You know, he didn't even really have a single that he was running up the numbers on. The last album that we remember from Meek Mill was the joint effort with Rick Ross. Yeah, it was called Heathenism. Thank you. Appreciate you, Queen B. It was called Heathenism. You know what I'm saying? What is up with that title? That title does not make sense to what Meek Mill is as an artist. It doesn't make sense. I'm just being real with you guys. That's not what we know Meek Mill as. We know him as the dream chaser. We know him as dreams and nightmares. We know him as dreams worth more than money, but we don't know you to have these oddball titles. Even Expensive Pain worked because it went with the theme. Meek Mill kept a theme to his projects, which I think a lot of people respected. But maybe some people that were caught off guard by this one. Maybe some people just didn't know this album actually released. Yeah, King Combs actually did release a diss song on 50 Cent, I guess. Have I listened to it? Am I reporting on it right now? No, that's not what I'm talking about. If you're gonna have to wait and see the story about King Combs dissing 50. But today we're actually talking about the story that 50 put out there. King Combs rapping about the raid that happened on the Cribs. How old is this song? I don't know. I don't know. Is it a fresh song? I hope so. I mean, I doubt it. Is it a fresh song? I hope not. You know what I'm saying? King Combs is all types of crazy doing that. But the song could be old as hell. You know what I mean? Because just being real, King Combs does not strike me as the type of guy that can record music like that. You know, that's why we saw his big debut single actually feature Kodak Black. And that's probably the reason it was given to King Combs because of the clearance issues. Yeah, no Diddy. No Diddy. Gucci Man dropped. I need everybody in here. If you support the kid, hit the like button because we're talking about it today. 50 made the post and he's like, why would you do that? Why would you talk about this situation while the feds are investigating your pops? Why are you going to try and capitalize on the clout in that way? Come on, man. One bar on a record isn't really going to do it for you. We saw what it took for King Combs. That's right, Diddy's only son that got some sort of popularity. We saw what it took for him to get his name in the headlines, you guys. It took a sample from one of Diddy's most classic records. And it took a rapper that just got out of jail who couldn't wait for the alley oop. You know what I mean? Give Kodak an alley oop like that, he's going to dunk it all day. Look what he did with 6ix9ine. He made $1 million. They let him record on the classic Diddy joint. He made a radio hit. No disrespect to King Combs, but a lot of the DJs will be cutting that record after Kodak's verse. Just being real. So it got a little crazy because after 50 made this post, you guys, let me get a little water. Let me get a little water so I can spread this message. I like to come on here and talk to y'all about hip hop. Meek Mill responds back out of the blue. Why does Meek Mill respond back to 50? Why is he opening up that can of worms, you guys? What's he thinking? As I said a little bit earlier, 50 had gotten in his bag about Meek Mill in the past. He told Meek, you don't want to mess with A.R.Ab. You don't want to mess with Ab, Meek. He put up all types of memes with A.R.Ab chasing Meek Mill around, all types of stuff like that. He was kind of clowning him. 50 never ended up doing any work with A.R.Ab. He did show them hella love, though, as Darklo told me when they embraced in the club. You know, he showed him hella love, and obviously shouting him out, he was showing him love too. But 50 clowned Meek Mill, and at one point in time, 50 actually smushed one of his ex-G Unit associates, Trav, who was riding alongside with 50. That's right, you guys. Meek Mill himself, Meek had one of 50's ex-affiliates around. That right there could rub somebody the wrong way. Pause. No Diddy. That right there could actually create a little bit of an issue if you're being smart about this. 50 obviously had some issue with Trav. and then Meek Mill is running around with Trav. Meek Mill, who just blew up onto the scene, and he's having his young buck. He's having his Lloyd Banks moment where he's actually reaching a height of his career that he never thought he would attain. And Meek is the type of artist that acts like he's of the same caliber as 50 Cent. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like Mike Knox acting like he's the same caliber as Beanie Siegel and Meek Mill. You know what I mean? Meek Mill, sometimes, what do they be saying? You know what I mean? Meek Mill, he was thinking he was the same caliber as 50 Cent. Meek, I'm sorry, homie. You did a $160 first week. 50 did 800K twice. Two weeks in a row. Meek, even on your best album, you did 250K first week. Fifth did 1.1 million. That's like 4 times and a half what you did. I got mad love for Meek. But Meek caught everyone off guard calling 50 Cent federal. And that's why I'm on here talking about this today. You know what I mean? I should have Trigger Ock come on here. I should have B.O.B. come on here. Shout out my guy Bobby Garcia. I should have Jaffe Top Tiger come on here. Because this situation right here, I feel needs to be addressed. 50 Cent was having fun. Hell, 50 Cent posted a snippet of a King Combs record on his Instagram that 25 million people follow. That's the biggest music promotion that kid has gotten since Kodak Black. And I'm just being real. You guys. I'm a fan who's witnessed this. I'm somebody in the culture that's experiencing this. And I'm somebody that is in the industry working alongside this, y'all. What up, Doe? What up, General 5? Yeah, he said Meek tripping. He don't want smoke with 50. Meek pops up out of nowhere in response to 50 and says some of the most distasteful stuff. You know what I mean? Stuff that I don't even really want to read, but I come on here, I do this, I provide this news and give my perspective on it for all y'all. And I appreciate everyone watching. Even if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe right now. So Meek Mill calls 50 federal. Do you want to know what's federal, Meek? You letting Diddy call you daddy. You know what I'm saying? Come on, homie. We are well past that era. We are well past the era of other grown men calling each other daddy. I understand that was probably a thing back in the Cameron, Max B days. You know what I'm saying? But come on, Meek. You're from the gritty streets of Philly. Do you think A.R.A.B. would allow another man to call him daddy? Come on, Meek. I had more faith in you than that. I had more faith on you than that, man. Like, come on. You need to know when to check somebody. Let's be real. You need to know when to check somebody. French Montana told Ross, he said, yo, Rose, no disrespect, but I ain't accepting no chump change. We're going to do this deal, and we're going to do it right. Let's involve Bad Boy. That's my home state. So Diddy came in, and Rick Ross was there, and they made history. Meek Mill, he might be arguably hella more talented than French Montana. Maybe he's not smarter than French Montana, because obviously all these tweets he makes, they're not the smartest thing to do. You know what I'm saying? All these tweets that Meek does, they're not the smartest things you could be doing out here. You know what I'm saying? French Montana uses his brain a little bit more. He focuses on the music. You know what singles French Montana has popping. Meek Mill, he got lost in the shuffle with heathenism. You got lost in the shuffle, and now you're doing freaky zeeky numbers, homie. What happened to you? Man, you was the man, homie. Meek Mill, what the happened to you? So let's get to this response. Meek Mill says, so 50 actually says, now why would you say some shit like this? when you know the feds are investigating? Is you stupid or is you dumb? LOL. You know, you could expect that from 50. Actually, no. I don't even think like 50, you can't expect 50 to rap about you or talk about you on his social media. You cannot expect that, because if 50 Cent does that, the next day your social media is going through the roof. The next day you are damn near famous when 50 Cent talks about you. So, no, you can't necessarily expect 50 Cent to mention you. He does not mention anybody. So, the fact that he's putting King Combs on his page with a little snippet of his rap, man, when they did the raid, they missed the spot in the back. This is the first time that millions and millions of people are actually getting the chance to hear Diddy has a son that raps. You know what I'm saying? So 50 is doing this man a solid. That is literally more than probably T.I. did for Meek Mill. And T.I., if you call Cap, hit me up and let me know you're calling Cap. Tell me to my face. So 50 says, now, why would you say some shit like that when you're rapping about another house that your dad owns when the feds just raided your dad's house? Why would you rap about that? King Combs, get it right, little homie. You're putting your dad out there. You're making your dad look hella crazy. They're about to draw paperwork for the other house. You know what I'm saying? Like I said earlier, this song could be old. This song could be referencing a whole other raid. For crying out loud, he was talking about Fetty. You know what I mean? He could have been talking about a whole other raid that didn't have nothing to do with that, man. My guy, what up, fly guy? Appreciate everybody that drops a comment in here, hits the like button. He says French is more seasoned than Meek in the streets. That's a good topic right there. That's actually a really good topic right there, man. Don't think we're gonna touch it today, but we'll definitely keep it in mind, because you really got to weigh out what they both had going on. You know what I mean? Meek Mill was younger, rapping for the DVDs, you know, spitting some hot freestyles. French Montana jumped right into the battle rap scene. You know what I mean? French jumped into the battle rap scene. He saw what was going on with the DVD market. He jumped into that as well, because he knew he wasn't going to tap in with a DJ that was successful. You know what I mean? All the DJs that were successful, 7, 8 different highly successful DJs out there, all had artists under them. What up, Mets champion? What's popping? Appreciate y'all for tapping in. It's Mikey T, the movie star here. If you didn't know, everybody that's watching, subscribe to the channel right now. Drop a comment if you want me to subscribe back to you on YouTube as well. I will hit y'all back, man. I'm the realist on YouTube. Just to be real with you, I'm the realist doing it on YouTube, and I'm very interactive with all the fans. So today we're basically just covering the fact that Meek Mill took shots at 50 Cent. 50's responded, but Meek just came out of the blue with shots at 50 after 50 posted up King Combs. And 50 asked, now, why would you say that? And Meek said, because you're federal. Because you're federal. The street dudes in Queens know that, and that's why you're trying to pick on a little boy. Your own son hates your guts. LOL. I'm so grateful to be on an island with my son and his friends on his B-Day. Don't follow these guys. Their miserable lives be terrible. Their miserable lives be terrible. You're on an island. You're out there celebrating with your kids and all of his friends on an island. That's great. You know what I mean? That's great. You know what I mean? To each his own. You know what I mean? If you're able to show that type of a lifestyle to your child, to his friends, you know what I mean? To give them a perspective that a lot of other people never end up getting, you know what I mean? An experience that it sounds great what you're doing, Meek. You know what I'm saying? But why are you coming here and slamming 50 Cent in the middle of enjoying all this time with your loved ones. That doesn't make much sense to me. The fact that you're out on some foreign island, exotic island, however the guy's out in Fiji and he's still tweeting. The guy is in Fiji enjoying himself. Got the kids playing volleyball, all that jazz. They're bringing out the, you know what I mean, the strawberry frozen drinks for all the kids. And Meek Mill just can't help himself. He's got to diss 50 Cent. Meek, you are the guy that brought a G Unit enemy, a G Unit turncoat around 50 Cent. Do you not understand the mistakes that you've made in the past? If anything, you should not be bringing up 50's name, homie. You made mistakes in the past that jeopardized any type of relationship you could have had with the man. You signed with his biggest enemy. Did you ever even drop off any demos to G Unit? I'm gassing it now, y'all. I'm gassing it now. But did you ever drop any demos off? Guy links up with the biggest boss. Where is the biggest boss now? I don't think he's on film sets. I don't think he's developing 4 to 5 different shows. I don't think he opened up the biggest movie studio since Tyler Perry. Yeah, that's right. Fifth, let me know if you're hiring. Chich, you know I can say it. But Meek Mill signs with Ross for what I don't know. Meek didn't have to let the numbers speak, but French Montana went down there and said, yo, Ross, no disrespect, but I'm not signing with you there. I'm not signing with you there, Ross, but I'll do the joint venture with Diddy. Now, let me just put this out there because I'm no hater. Meek Mill did not need these cosigns to make himself famous. Meek Mill had the bars. Meek Mill had the he has an aura to him, man. Meek Mill is a superstar. You know what I mean? And you don't need to be the biggest street gangster to be a superstar in this world. Newsflash, not everybody needs to be a gangster to be the number one celebrity or to be a celebrity in general. For some people, it works for. You know what I mean? Arab, it worked for him. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people it works for. Some people, they can just be normal. They can be average. So let's just call that. You know what I mean? When you got to take on an image that's not necessarily you, we'll see what happens in the future. Meek Mill had a nice career. So Meek Mill says, Meek Mill is no type of a crash dummy. Meek Mill was the number one member of his clique. Everybody in here hit that like button. So Meek Mill says, because you're a federal agent. He said, dudes and queens know that's why you trying to pick on a little boy. I don't know why you're mentioning dudes and queens. I don't know why Meek is mentioning dudes and queens. Like, let's be real. There's nobody even around to validate for that. You know what I mean? I actually just talked to one of the dudes and queens, Bobby Garcia, and he let me know that 50 is as real as it gets. You know what I'm saying? He let me know 50 is as real as it gets. So the dudes and queens, you know what I'm saying? And another thing, I put out a story about 50 getting run off the block because he was, you know what I mean? And a lot of people said, nah, Mikey T, that's cap. That's cap, Mikey T. So a lot of people vouch for 50 Cent in a lot of regard to this day. So what is Meek Mill talking about? He's talking about the dudes in Queens. Oh, appreciate you, Lamar. He's talking about Trav and Slow. Do we need to bring up what happened to Trav and Slow? Now, don't get me wrong. Trav, cool dude. Cool dude. Trav has jumped on my camera. I've seen Trav on a couple occasions. I got nothing bad to say about Trav in regard to the type. I don't know anything about Trav like that. He actually spoke on my camera for a few minutes at the New Jersey Pack show. Joel Santana was there. Shout out to John Depp. You know what I'm saying? A lot of those guys were there. But Trav and Slow, just looking at the facts, you know what I'm saying? Trav and Slow both got taught a lesson by 50 Cent. Slow actually jumped on a stage with 50 Cent. Trav tried to use Meek Mill as a shield and get into the cut with 50 and maybe work it out. Should that have worked? Maybe. Maybe it should have worked. Did it work? Absolutely not, because I think it discredited Meek Mill drastically, you guys. I'm just being real. I think it discredited Meek Mill drastically because of the fact that it made him look less than. It kind of made Meek Mill look like he was not the same caliber as 50 Cent, you guys. He looked like he wasn't the same caliber as 50 Cent that day. Granted, the man came out and sold the $160. His next joint moved 250,000. After that, he ran into a steamroller called Drake. And his sales were never the same again. He went down to like 99,000. You were moving 250,000 units in a short week, Meek. Now, that's still a fourth of what 50 was doing. But Meek, you got 250,000 people to go out there and to buy your album. Do you realize that, Meek? You got them to go out there and purchase your product. And then you went against your fans. You went against an audience that Drake helped you attain. He didn't get you your whole fan base, but you cannot tell me that Drake didn't help you move your fan base when he gave you your third single. And we're talking about the song called Amen. You built up a fan base to where you can move 250,000 in a short week, and then you try to discredit a man for either not posting your album on his social media. Number one, screw that, not posting something on social media. And number two, you maybe said that he gave you an old verse. That I can almost understand, but come on. You can't be doing that to Drake, man. You can't, and it's not just Drake. You can't do that to any artist. You can't do that to any artist if he's going to actually give you something that he done. So I don't really respect that from Meek Mill, and I think a lot of people didn't respect it, and they fell off the Meek Mill bandwagon. That's when a lot of people fell back from Meek Mill. And now Meek Mill wants to call out 50 over Diddy's son. It's so odd. Like, how do you pertain to this conversation? This is an A-B conversation. Meek, see your way out, you dream chaser. See your way out, you chaser. Yeah, I couldn't really do that, but you know what it is. See your way out. Meek Mill jumps into this conversation and he says, because you're federal. The street dudes in Queens know, and that's why you're trying to pick on a little boy. That doesn't even make sense. 50's not trying to pick on a little boy either. You know what I'm saying? This isn't like the whole Jimmy Henchman's son situation. I'm pretty sure King Combs is 21 plus years old. The man is stunting on Snapchat like crazy. Everybody's on Snapchat, by the way, now, you guys, with the stories. It's nuts. King Combs is crazy on Snapchat. He's a wild dude, man. He lives up to his father's moniker. And I got to say, I love that about King Combs. 26? What was that, Mets? So he said, your own son hates your guts. LOL. I'm so grateful to be on an island with my son and his friends on his B-Day. Don't follow these guys. They miserable lives be terrible. So you want to take shots about 50 and his son when we all know what 50 actually said about his son. 50 said that he actually tried to get his son a whole sneaker shop. You know what I mean? And I find that to be extremely admirable, the fact that somebody would try to set their son up with a business so he can then make something of himself in the future. So that right there, if you don't know that piece of the story, you shouldn't even be talking about nothing. And, well, first of all, you should not be talking about a son hating his father's guts in general. You know what I mean? I don't think that's cool to talk about. I think honestly that's going to make you lose more fans. The fact that you want to take it and do it and be so personal about it with 50 Cent and his kids, that makes no sense to me, Meek. It makes no sense to me that you want to come on the internet and talk about a relationship that somebody has within their own family while you're out on a public family or a private family vacation. Like there's more to life than that, especially for somebody like you, Meek, who has attained the highest levels of success. Somebody like you who could actually reach higher levels of success if you didn't just sabotage yourself by doing things like this, by dissing some of the people that will always be loved in this industry, like a Drake, like a 50 Cent. What's next, Meek? What's next, Meek? Who are you going to diss next? You already went at Wale. You know what I'm saying? You went at your own label mate. This doesn't make any sense, man. But 50 wasn't going to let that go. 50 wasn't letting it go. You know, 50 had to take it back to the old school tactics. Yo, if you forgot something, I'm here to remind you. Mikey T, the movie star, the hottest blogger out here. If you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe right now. But the next part, 50 had to come back. 50 wasn't letting it slide. 50 was not letting it slide. Let me find where's the response? 50 went off in his response. Fifty went off in his response saying, "Yo, you shouldn't be on vacation right now. What are you doing on vacation? You sold 6,000 albums. Why are you on vacation?" It's like you do your Denzel. Vacation? Why are you on vacation, Meek? Homie, why are you on vacation? It's looking crazy out there for you. You're on vacation after your album sold 6,000 first week? You have no reason to be on vacation. You have no money to be on vacation. You shouldn't have the bread to be taking the whole soccer team on vacation, homie. I'm just being real. The money is drying up. That's why you're on YouTube videos selling your Escalade. Woo! What's going on with you, Meek? Why are you selling the cars? Why don't you just focus? Why don't you focus, man? Because you should not be dropping an album called Heathenism. That makes absolutely no sense to what you've done in your career. This man drops Dreams and Nightmares. This man comes out with Dreams Worth More Than Money. This guy comes out with, what was the next one? Wins and Losses. Huh? Huh? You think I'm playing with you? This guy comes out with Championships and gets it back. And then he gives it all away. He drops Expensive Pain with little to no promotion. What are you doing? Meek Mill told the world, I'm sick of not being able to get my product out there. I'm sick of not being able to get my product out there on a frequent basis. So now he gets the opportunity. He drops Expensive Pain. He moves 80K. Okay. You promoted it for 2 weeks. You moved 80K. I can respect that. Let's see what you do on the next one. He comes out with this joint. It's a pure embarrassment to everything that he told us. Before you go online, before you come on the internet and diss 50 Cent, leave that to Bang'em Smurf, homie. Before you come on the internet and diss 50 Cent, how about you focus on your own rap career? 50 has transitioned from rap music. 50 is now making television shows, BMF, For Life. He even had a comedy show, This is 50 Central. Power, BMF, Raising Canaan. Are you kidding me? 50 is doing different things. He's on a movie set every day. How are you trying to say his life is terrible? You saying his life is terrible makes absolutely no sense. Give me 1 second. There's my drink. Yeah, Meek Mill's defending Diddy out of nowhere, too. But it also makes him look more crazy. It makes him look even crazier because of the fact that he's defending Diddy. You know what, man? Instead of defending yourself, Meek, you deflected. You deflected. Every time people were asking you a simple question, you deflected with aggression. Do you know why people deflect with aggression? They do that when they're guilty. They do that when they don't want somebody to know something. Don't you realize what you're doing to your own public perception by reacting the way that you are? Simply by tweeting 50 Cent while you're on a family vacation. It shows your temperament. You're playing in to everything that everybody jokes around about you. There's jokes, there's memes all about you all over the internet because of the way that you act and because of the way that you publicly present yourself. And that's all within your it's all within your easy you could grasp, like you could have control of your narrative, but you just can't help yourself. 120 characters at a time. You just can't help yourself. Uh let's see. Let's see. So let's get to the response. Let's get to the response of 50 Cent calling Meek Mill out for selling 6,000 records. Meek Mill sells 6,000 records because nobody even knew what project he was dropping, you guys. Nobody knew. Nobody knew what project Meek Mill was dropping. Come on, you're not even going to keep with the sequencing of your titles? You're not dating Nicki Minaj no more? You know, some people probably fell off when he wasn't dating Nicki Minaj no more either. So let's see. Where's this response? 50 clowned him for selling 6,000 units first week. 50 used to do that all the time when like Fat Joe would come out and sell 50,000. He's like, "It's the funeral. It's the funeral of Fat Joe. He sold 50,000 this week. His career is over. Fat Joe, your career is over, homie." He would always do that shit. Fat Joe actually went independent. Me, Myself, and I believe the album was called. And he dropped a single, was it Make It Rain? Make It Rain with Lil Wayne. And it was a totally independent effort. And it was like, wow. It was like, yo, this is going to be a smash. This is going to go crazy. But the record actually only ended up doing 50,000 copies first week. It was kind of a disappointment. But the single probably moved multiple millions. I'm not sure an official number on that. But you know, I don't want to be overly critical. Y'all probably know me as a little bit overly critical, but the majority of Fat Joe's albums actually had bigger singles than the album would go on to sell. You know, look at All the Way Up, for example. I believe that song was featured on the Plataplomos album. But 50 said, "Yo, you shouldn't be on vacation, Meek Mill. You only sold 6,000 copies. So why are you on vacation?" 50 fired back on Meek pretty quickly, you guys. And I knew it was coming. I knew it was going to be coming, but you know, because initially after reading Meek Mill calling 50 a Fed, I'm like, man, Meek, you is out the blue with this. You just can't wait for people to roast you again, huh, Meek Mill? You got to get publicly roasted again? You've been getting roasted for the past 3 weeks. Now 50 finally turned the temperature down and he's back on Diddy. Another reason, but you want to come back into it. He turned the heat down on you, Meek. The heat was turned down on you for a minute. What up? What up? What up? All Pro 206 was popping. RIP to Little Snoop. Yeah, man. You gotta love what Meek Mill was doing for Dream Chasers. You know what I mean? Putting all those guys on. Like, I know a few of them. I never got the chance to meet Little Snoop. You know what I mean? Rest in peace to the little bro. You know what I'm saying? That kid was just a bundle of talent. You know what I mean? From what I saw from him and heard from him. But I did get the chance to meet O'Malley. You know what I'm saying? I did get the chance to meet Louis V. Gutta. You know what I'm saying? So I did meet a few people from out of that camp. And, I feel like Meek was putting on some talented people. Say what you want about O'Malley, man. Say what you want, but O'Malley's a good ass dude. And I got a crazy interview with O'Malley where he talked about getting shot. It was like the ultimate interview. It was nuts. But you already know I do the hottest interviews. Make sure you just go check out the new joints I did with T-Top, new interview with Spig Nice, new interview with my guy Gutta Baby. Gutta Baby, you heard? I did a new interview with Gutta Baby, Trendy. He's affiliated with Fabio Foreign. He was locked up with Chef G. So, there's a bunch of my interviews that I did that I'm really proud of. But, I just had to come on here and report about this. Everybody that's on here watching, follow me on Instagram, Mikey T _ the movie star. Everybody that follows me, I will follow you back right now if you follow me. You heard? So if you want that follow back from Mikey T, the movie star, go over onto my page and follow me, because I will follow back whoever's in there. Trigger, tap in. Gutta Baby, tap in. We live. What's wrong? What's up with you guys? Tap in. We live. Let me see who else. I'm about to invite some people. Like I told y'all, I'm about to have some co-hosts on the show too. About to have some co-hosts on the show too. What up? What up? What up? What up? Brad Shaw, straight facts. Straight facts. Oh, let me see, man. Oh, let me get this lit back up. I remember I first met Meek Mill. I remember first meeting Meek Mill, and y'all, I was like wild. I was wild when I first met Meek Mill, because I was down with the wave. You know what I mean? I was down, no Diddy. I was wild when I first met Meek Mill, no Diddy. But I was down with French Montana and Max B. I thought they was the dopest music from the East Coast. I thought they were the dopest from the East Coast, you guys. So when Meek Mill was at Circle House Studio, me and Meek were at Circle House Studio, and it was MMG weekend actually. And Meek was like, "Who's better than me? Who's better than me? Who's better than me?" And I'm like, French Montana? French Montana? So I got him with that. And then he's like, because French was dead ass hotter than Meek, pause, at that point in time. All the clubs in Miami were doing French Montana shows. They weren't doing Meek Mill shows. Shout out to my bro French. You know what I'm saying? Me and French were talking, and it's going to be crazy when Max B comes home. It's going to be crazy when Max B comes home, you guys. I'm the blogger that's in tune. I'm the blogger that actually talks to these rappers. And that's why I had to come and shut it down today, man. Meek Mill wants to call 50 a Fed. We're shutting that down, man. There's too many people out there that have just even said that is not true. Bimmy actually came on to the podcast. Bimmy Anthony came on to my podcast, and I asked him, when 50 Cent mentioned your name on his song Ghetto Quran, did you feel like he was implicating you in any way? At that point in time, in 1999, was 50 implicating you? And Bimmy told me no. He looked at it as a shout out. This is what we do, though, you guys. I do these live videos. I do these interviews. Best interviews on the internet. Make sure you go check out my interview with T-Top, where he's speaking on his whole career coming out of North Carolina. He speaks on what happened with Murder Mook and his partner in battle rap, Briz Rothstein. He speaks on the battle that he witnessed with Charlie Clips versus Easy, the block captain. Yeah. Go check out some of my work, you guys, because I got a bunch of it out there, y'all, and I'm not stopping, man. Go check out my interview with Sean Bigga. That's out right now as well. Go check out my interview with Bobby Garcia, Lost Boys family. Go check out my interview with Spig Nice from the Lost Boys family, man. Free Corey Miller, damn right. Damn right. What up, Jay Dizzle? Appreciate you tapping in. Everybody that's tapped in here, if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe right now. You heard? Because you don't want to miss none of my live videos and you don't want to miss none of my interviews that I drop. I got some of the dopest content on the net, and I'll see y'all on the next video. Peace.